So today we're going to be shooting some Golden Tiger full metal jacket, 124 grain. Should be some pretty good ammo. Alright guys, so first 6 shots, nice little group, far left. So we're going to adjust that replaced front sight, bring the impact over to the right, and once we get it real close, we'll move out to 100. This is just 25. Okay guys, second group, 6 shots. We're aiming right at the bottom of this square, and it's just about perfect. Not going to make any adjustments off of this. We're just going to take it back to 100 and make our fine adjustments there. Okay, so we're at the 100. We're going to go ahead and fire another 6 shots at 100, and then we'll see how close we were from the 25 moving out to the 100. Got the rear sight set at 100 meters, so let's just put 6 rounds down range and have a look at our group. Alright, so here we are, 6 shots from prone at 100. This shot was already here on this little piece of paper, but if anything, I can work on my group. There's not really any adjustment I can make there. They're all centered up on the piece of paper. That was rapid fire too, not spending too much time getting just a perfect shot, just going prone like someone in combat would do. So I'm just going to leave that exactly like it is and call it zeroed. Let's go back and look at the rifle. So finally got this rifle zeroed, and I want to tell you a couple of things that we had. Obviously, we had the broken front sight, which we've already covered. I replaced that with a brand new one. But we got this thing zeroed. Let's have a look at how much windage I had to give it. That's pretty extreme, given that this is a brand new US made barrel. Not real happy with that. So we may end up having the front sight adjusted for cant to check it for trueness, and sending that off to a gunsmith to have it reworked. I don't mind a little bit of adjustment. It's still within the adjustment spec, but I'm not in love with it. And I don't think you would be either when you buy a brand new rifle and you get something like that. So Century, you guys have still got some work to do. I fully came to this with this rifle, wanted to give them a stellar review about the awesome work that they are now doing on these rifles. But I'm gonna have to give this one probably a 7 out of a 10. Overall, it's pretty good. We had the broken front side, and then once I got it replaced, it took a lot of windage to get it zeroed at 100. Other than that, you guys saw my previous review before we refinished it. Everything's good. We ended up refinishing this, tearing it down completely, checking all the parts, making sure that they look good. That's where we found the broken front sight, and refinishing it with the Rust-Oleum appliance epoxy, and then baking that on. I'll put a link below to the process we used for doing that, but man, it really brought the original finish back to this rifle, and it looks fantastic. We adjusted the bayonet lug also. Let's talk about this bayonet lug for a minute. I should have brought my bayonet out, but what I found with a lot of other people is that this bayonet lug on these rifles, the distance between it and the front of the front sight base is too far, maybe only by 1 millimeter. And I suspect either this US made barrel is 1 millimeter too long, or when the guys at Century are installing this front sight post, they're installing it 1 millimeter too far forward. But when you go to fit the bayonet, it won't lock in on the back of this bayonet lug shelf. Simple fix. All I had to do was come in with a flat file and shorten the distance of this rear shelf before I refinished it, and now bayonet snaps on no problem. I'll get some video of that here in just a minute and add it in so you guys can see me installing it. But alright guys, those are the issues that we had, the good, the bad, and the ugly on this Century AK63ds, S for stamped receiver. So I hope that this will help you guys make a little more educated decision on your future purchases. If you're looking at buying one of these, just be aware there may be a couple of minor issues you have to work through. Alright guys, so as you can see, that bayonet locks in perfect now, nice and tight. We just had to take a little bit off the back of the bayonet lug right here. It wouldn't lock in before. It would slide over, it just wouldn't lock. Now it's locking and everything's good. So simple fix, not too worried about that, but it's something you may encounter if you purchase one of these rifles.